Well, hello, guys, and welcome to this week's episode on the Cozy Archives of Is It Cooking or Cooked? And today, well, first of all, I have Gojo on the mic with us today. This is Kitty Bear Gojo. Everybody say hi. Hi. And yeah, I we're venturing into a whole new level of fanfic today. As you can see, and as we do every time on Is It Cooking or Cooked, we go into a surprising fanfic that you may not have thought of before. And as you can see on the screen today, we have a lovely fanfic that I dug up for us. It was a little bit of I don't know. It was my idea, so I guess, it wasn't a surprise to me, but it came to me surprisingly today, and I was like, I know that there's fanfic on this. We gotta find it. And so we did. This one is is a dragon in Shrek. Oh, dragon in Shrek. No, I read that tag up there. I don't know why that's there. But it is a Shrek X Donkey fanfic. Yes, I went there, and apparently so do other people because it's I'm not going to say a popular ship, but I did find quite a few pieces on AO3 about it, and I'm sure there's even more on Wattpad. I didn't venture over there, but last time we did Rigby and Mordecai from the regular show, and we ruined that relationship for your childhood. This time we're ruining the Shrek movies for your childhood. This one is, like I said, a Donkey X Shrek. We are going Yowie with Shrek, people. So buckle up. I have no idea how this is going to turn out or how they did with this fanfic. Absolutely no idea. Haven't even skimmed over it myself. So we're getting like the fresh nitty gritty here. Called Accidentally in Love. I love that title because obviously the movie and stuff. Um, Fun little fact about me and my personal relationship with the Shrek movies, I actually hadn't watched them until recently. As in, recently, meaning I'm 24 and I started watching them only like 4 years ago because my fiance got me watching them. And yeah, that's crazy to some people. I know it's a big fact that I always share about myself that a lot of people are like, what? No way. But now after that, I was kind of obsessed with them. I watch them all the time. It's a genuine comfort show. But yeah, I saw this one has 487 hits. It's not like it's going to have as many hits as a fanfic from like My Hero or Jujutsu Kaisen. But yes, it's got 2,328 words. So we've got a pretty chunky word count for a ship that I don't think like is too popular, guys. So it's a popular ship out of like the series, obviously, is what I was trying to say earlier. But out of like this like fanfic world and everything, there's not much on it. So we're taking what we can get. It's by 203 underscore 508 is the user and the user and I always encourage now on this series, it's going to be obviously one that, like, they still put in the time and effort to write it. But if you really resonate with it, if you think it's a genuine, funny ship, funny fanfic, wrote it well, I always encourage you guys to go over and give a kudos on your own. I link everything in the description down below. And yeah, head over there and give it a kudos if you liked this. That always helps like the artist. I'm sure they're not writing a lot of Shrek X Donkey fanfic, but they might write other fanfics. So letting them know that, you appreciate the writing style and stuff is the thing. Only if you guys feel called to it. So leaving that there, I always do for the fanfics. Because people do take their time to write these. So I'm going to start to jump in with the summary. When Shrek and Fiona's wedding anniversary goes wrong, Fiona seeks to find out what Shrek is hiding from her. Spicy. She learns about Shrek's past relationship with Donkey, which turns their marriage upside down. Oh my god. I loved this one too because it looked like it had so much drama. No notes, kind of sussed about that, but we're gonna jump right in. It was their fifth year wedding anniversary. Fiona had made Shrek his favorite meal for dinner: roasted onions and eyeballs. Yum. Gojo, that's Gojo's favorite dish ever. She had gone to the hair salon earlier that day and was excited to show her husband her beautifully styled silky red locks. She put on her best dress and emphasized her curvy figure, and applied makeup that accentuated her smooth green skin. Getting a green foundation. Can you imagine? Especially back then, like, crazy. Tonight meant a lot to Fiona because it marked 5 years with the love of her life, Shrek. Aw. She also decided that tonight was the night she was going to tell him that she was expecting their first child. Oh boy. This was going to be an evening straight out of a fairy tale, and Fiona could not be happier. However, this highly anticipated evening did not go as expected. The drama. It was a cold and frigid December evening when Shrek came home from work, shivering as a light snowfall began. Wow, we're getting like serene vibes here before all the shit hits the fan. As he opened the front door to the giant swamp cottage, he was welcomed with warmth from the fireplace. The smell of dinner being roasted in the oven made his stomach growl, and his wife, Fiona, greeted him with a kiss on the cheek. "How was work, honey?" Fiona asked while Shrek plopped his rotund ogre body onto their leather sofa. Rotund. I like that word. "The usual," Shrek replied. "Too much work and not enough pay." Fiona noticed his rather sour mood and hoped that the delicious dinner that she prepared would make him forget the frustrations of his day at work. Suddenly, a timer chimed, and Fiona rushed to take the food out of the oven. When Shrek caught sight of the beautifully prepared onions and eyeballs, he gave Fiona a confused look. "What's the occasion?" "Oh shit, Shrek is going to be the next one in the oven," he asked, and Fiona felt her heart drop. Oh no, it's because his heart belongs to Donkey. "It's our 5 year anniversary. Did you forget?" Fiona replied, and a look of guilt spread across Shrek's face. "Of course I remember, honey. It's been a long day. The food looks great." Shrek got up from the sofa and sat himself down on the kitchen table as Fiona served him a plate. As Fiona watched Shrek gobble up an eyeball, she contemplated when the best time would be to tell her husband that she was pregnant. "Hey, you're going to have to work more." I'm kidding. No, I'm happy for that. "Shrek," she began, "I have some really exciting news." Shrek looked up from his food and replied, "Can we just eat this meal in silence? I've had a rough day." Ooh, hard turn down. Does he even love her? Like, what? Fiona nodded, holding back tears, and sat down across from her husband. She was shocked at his behavior. This was extremely unlike him, and she could not comprehend the reason as to why he could be acting this way. He seemed distant. Suddenly, her mind began jumping to the worst case scenarios. Is there another woman? Maybe another guy. Or a donkey. I don't know why I did that. Because Donkey's not even a guy, dude. Oh man, I lost my place in doing it, and it wasn't even worth it. Can we just eat in peace? "Is everything okay, sweetheart? You're not acting like yourself," Fiona asked, her voice full of concern. Shrek looked up, irritation glinting in his eyes. "I said it was because of work. That's all. I'd like quiet now, please," he replied, and he paused for a moment as he was about to take another bite. "Actually, I need a drink." Shrek abruptly stood up from the table, grabbed his coat, and walked out the door. Fiona was stunned and hurt. She felt as though the ogre who walked out of their home was completely different than the one she married. And she had no idea what made him this way. All of a sudden, Fiona had an idea and briskly made her way to her and Shrek's bedroom. The journals, she whispered to herself, and searched for the key to unlock Shrek's secret drawer in their vanity. Bro, I don't think she's gonna find what she wants to find in that journal. Like, I will just go through his journal. That will make everything better. Even though, he didn't give me permission, but I'm his wife, so that gives me permission. No, no, girly. That's not how it works. You need consent. Even if you're married to them, I would say you'd probably get their consent to go through their, deepest, darkest thoughts, hopes, and dreams. Throughout their marriage, she had always been tempted to unlock the drawer one day, to see what Shrek cherishes is so much that he doesn't want anyone else to see it. I'm not gonna lie though, I might be with Fiona on this. Who knows? You never know. Maybe you need to know something. Maybe you need to know that thing about them. Maybe that's something that I'm not saying like I would probably hint as much as I can around it, see what they think, like see how like no, don't go in there. They are. And then I might get a little sussed, or I might be like, "Hey, I'm gonna walk out that door if you don't tell me what's in there, cuz if you don't want me to see it that badly, we don't got trust over here." Not saying that like I would force them to, but, I get it. Throughout their marriage, she had always been tempted to unlock the drawer one day, to see what Shrek cherishes so much that he doesn't want anyone else to see. Without Shrek knowing, Fiona had found where he hid the key a long time ago, but she never opened the drawer out of respect. See, she's still a respective girly. Until now, her heart was beating fast as she opened the drawer and gasped as she found multiple journals inside. Multiple. They looked worn and dusty, like Shrek had not touched them for years. Despite the guilt that was creeping up on her, she cracked open the first journal, in hopes that what she found would save her marriage. She began to read the first entry, and this is where the shit hits the fan, people. Also, I had something to say. Yeah. So she found the key, the journals, blah blah blah. I don't feel like, now correct me if I'm wrong, but Shrek wasn't really a journaly guy. I don't know if he would actually have a bunch of journals in a freaking, drawer. He just doesn't seem like the meditative, journaly type to me. Not saying you can't do it for funsies when you're young, and like, I know I did it then too, but I'm just gonna go out and say it right now. I don't think he's much of the journaling type. So I'm very surprised at how many journals were in there, and let alone any journals at all, for an ogre. April 8th. Dear Diary, I am in love. Here we go. I never expected that this would happen a month before I graduated college. Shrek went to college? Bro, he's journaling, he's going to college. What in the world? But here I am. My sweet lover is always on my mind and always in my heart. He makes me laugh. She's like, boom. He. He makes me laugh. He has taught me to love myself and all my flaws. And he has taught me what true love is. I never knew what was missing from my life until I met him. I have found a new beauty in life, and I know that I am destined to do greater things than receive my degree and a mundane job. A couple months ago, I was ready to get my diploma and leave, because that was really all I came here for. My family needs money, and a degree was the best way that I could support them, while also redeeming myself as the masculine ogre that I should be. However, now I don't know if I ever want to go back home. While the stress of school isn't any fun, having no pressure or expectations from my family has been amazing. I can be myself here, and I have found someone who loves me for who I am. I am not ready to leave Donkey when I graduate. This is not at all what I was expecting. I kind of wanted it set in the universe so we could get that, like an accurate ship. But this is what we're getting today, guys. So, okay. Shrek went to college. He's in love with Donkey. Don't even know if Fiona actually knows Donkey right now, but in this universe, but we're gonna see. Fiona gasped. Shrek was in love with Donkey? So she does. He had to have been talking about platonic love, because otherwise it would be absolutely make no sense. Donkey was his best friend. They had drifted apart once Donkey got married to the dragon, but Fiona figured that naturally happened because Donkey was now preoccupied with his marriage and most recently his children. Fiona was filled with confusion, but she decided to keep reading in hopes that it would clarify things. Probably not. November 15th. Dear Diary, I feel broken inside. My heart is in shambles. The love of my life has found someone else. So Donkey broke up with him? Damn. I have not spoken. Oh, that means that Shrek was the dumped one. That's never good for Fiona. That is not good for the other one. I have not spoken to Dunkin Donuts. I have not spoken to Donkey since last year, the summer after we graduated. He called me last night, and the amount of joy I had from hearing his voice after going so long without it was unfathomable. However, after starting the conversation with some small talk, he hit me with the most powerful news I have ever received. Donkey is in love with someone else, a dragon. They are getting married next month. That was fast. And he asked if I would like to come to their wedding. It took me a moment to process what he had just told me, but even after I repeated the news over and over again in my head, I had no idea how to respond. What are you supposed to say when your first love tells you that they've moved on, and even worse, they invite you to their wedding? After a moment of silence, I panicked and hung up the phone. I feel ashamed at how I handled this situation. I feel like a child. I love a life full of love and happiness is apparently not for me. I guess working on the swamp was my destiny after all. After contemplating all day, I have decided to be the bigger person and attend the wedding. It will give me a chance to see Donkey again, even if it's not the way that I'd like to. I'm going to need a lot of strength when the day comes, but at least I have a month to prepare myself. Damn, Shrek was going through it. Bruh, I know why he locked these journals away. December 17th. So, when was the other one? November. Okay. December 17th. Dear Diary, today was the day. My beloved Donkey got married to a dragon. The dragon looked stunning in her white gown, and it beautifully contrasted her ruby-colored scales. After witnessing her beauty and the way that Donkey looked at her in awe, I knew that I would never compare. At the reception following the ceremony, I had the chance to speak to Donkey. You two, I love how he puts in like parentheses, like the talk like a book. You two sure, like this is what I said. I'm going to document it. You two sure make a great couple, I had told him, and he smiled and looked down at the ground. Dragon is great. She's a strong woman and makes me a better man. That's a classic line. When I met her, everything just felt so easy. I knew that she was the one I was meant to marry. I will always love you, Shrek. Whoa. Our love was a passionate, burning flame, but the flame was going to burn out eventually. What would our families have thought? We would have lived difficult lives, Shrek. I'm trying to read this seriously for you guys. Suddenly, his wife let out a roar from across the room, and Donkey took that as his signal that their first dance was about to begin. This also signaled that my time left with him was running out. Before I go, Donkey said softly, just know that you're always in my heart. We may have accidentally fallen in love, but it was the greatest accident I have ever made. I love you, Shrek, and I always will. Donkey then trotted towards his wife, and I watched as he vanished into the sea of wedding guests. Wow, I'm tearing up, guys. After this interaction, I knew that I would never speak to him again, but I also knew that I would be okay. Not now, but eventually. Our love was strong, but it truly was not meant to be. We would have faced too much adversity. Damn. What would society have thought if they saw me, a male ogre getting married to a male donkey? Or a female dragon is completely fine. Marrying a male donkey, though, that's normal. That's what's wrong with that? But like, just because you had the gay in there, the yaoi, no, that becomes a no-no zone. You can't go there. But the dragon and the donkey can. Yeah. That's just, it's so funny to me. This was fate protecting me, telling me that I need to take the easy route of life. The pain is overwhelming now, but I will get over it. My life will be so much more easier once I find an ogre woman and make her my wife. My family will accept me, and I just might forget about Donkey too. Tragedy. Tears splattered the page that Fiona was reading, and she took a deep breath before closing the journal. It all made sense. She always wondered why Shrek was always so eager to get married, and not knowing it was to make his family happy revealed that it was not out of love. She now knew why this day was so painful for him, because it marked 5 years of marriage with someone that he did not truly love. Marrying Fiona did not help Shrek get over Donkey, and if anything, it made the pain worse. Fiona was trying to comprehend what she had just discovered when she heard the front door open. Here we go. Fiona, where are you? Shrek called from across the house. Yeah, I was just over there reading your super secretive journals. I hope you're okay with that. In a panic, Fiona shoved the journals back into the drawer and accidentally shoved the drawer closed so loud that it echoed across the house. She heard Shrek's pounding footsteps as he approached their bedroom, and he swung the door open. At this point, the journals were already hidden, but the look on Shrek's face revealed that he already knew what his wife had found. What she got into, more like. Fiona, I'm so sorry. I should have been honest with you. Oh, I was expecting him to be mad. There's nothing to explain, Shrek, Fiona stated coldly. You used me as a cover-up. You never loved me, and I doubt you'll ever love our child either. She dropped it on him like it was hot. Our child? Shrek asked, almost whisper-like. You didn't tell me that you were pregnant. Fiona chuckled. I tried telling you tonight, but you were so wrapped up in your lies that you didn't care what I had to say. I want a divorce, Shrek. I can't believe I'm reading this right now. Oh my god, it's not gonna have any donkey in it? Bro. I flunked the Donkey X Shrek one, guys. I'm so sorry. I mean, it still technically is. Shrek closed his eyes and sighed. Those words were hurtful, but he knew that this marriage wasn't going to last, and if he continued to cover up what his true identity was, a gay ogre. Fiona, Shrek began. An old friend called me this morning. He's going through a divorce and asked if I could come and stay with him for a while. That's why I've been acting strange tonight, and I'm truly sorry for my behavior. If I go and stay with him, will you be okay? Fiona's eyes were brimmed with tears, and she nodded yes. She was hit with the realization that she cannot control what happened in Shrek's past, and she unfortunately can't be the one who makes him happy. She knew exactly who the friend was, and there was no way she was going to keep him apart from the true love of his life. Bro, he's like, I'm so sorry. Hey, Donkey actually asked me to come and stay with him for a while. Do you think you'll be okay here? Do you think you'll be fine when I go to, like, sleep over at Donkey's house after reading that? Bro. I would be like, yeah, get out right now. Damn. You can go, Shrek. I'll have my mom help me with the baby. I hope you're happy, and I hope Donkey is everything that I couldn't be. I can find another ogre, but you can't find another donkey. Oh my god. Fiona was low-key like, am I reading yaoi right now? Is this yaoi? Maybe, maybe Shrek, update me, write me some letters in heavy detail about your relationship with Donkey going forward. Make those parentheses like you did in your diary around, like, the, make it like book format, basically, like you did in your diary, so that, just so I have it and I can like read it in my spare time. Goodbye, Shrek. Oh, Fiona began to gather her things, but she found it difficult because of the overwhelming heartbreak she was feeling. She would have never guessed that their 5th-year wedding anniversary would also be the night that their marriage ended. She also would have never guessed that she would have to raise her child without Shrek by her side. As she filled her last suitcase, she walked towards the door, her back facing Shrek. "Goodbye, Shrek," she said, her voice full of hurt. "I hope that you're happy, and I hope you go far, far away, so I will never have to see you again. But write me those letters, please." The door slammed behind her, and Shrek stood in silence. He felt an immense amount of guilt, but then he let out a sigh of relief. It was hard for him to hide the excitement he was feeling, now that he was able to see Donkey again. He let out a loud roar of joy and ran to the telephone. His fingers dialed a number that made his heart skip a beat, and after one ring, the phone picked up on the other end. "Donkey," Shrek exclaimed. "I'm free. I'll see you tomorrow." The end. Guys, was this not elite? Was this not cooking? Again, I wanted more of like Donkey and Shrek's banter. I was thinking banter. I was thinking a little more ex-reader type, but we didn't get that. Fiona came across their Yowie, and also, what is Donkey going to do? Is he just dropping the dragon? His kids, the dragon, everything. He's just he's like, and like, first of all, I have a few qualms with Shrek in this, because he's like, gets married, blah, 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 blah. Comes into himself more as like, okay, maybe I do need to be my gay self more. I need to embrace it, right? However, you're just gonna home wreck Donkey now? Like, oh my gosh, yes, Donkey's like the love of my life, the dragon, blah, blah, blah. Hey, do you, ex-gay lover, you want to come over and home wreck? Do you want to do that? Because I'd be down with it, Loki. I'm tired of this kids and home life and all this shit. Like, I want to get exciting again. I feel like that's what the ending was giving. But, we're not going to automatically just assume that, like, Shrek was going to go in there and wreck the home. Not automatically. But there's a high, high probability that he probably was. The end. Note, kudos are hearts. I don't know what exactly they meant with that, because yes, I'm gonna kudos it because I feel an obligation. I think also the writing was pretty good. I would say that I definitely wish she wrote one the other way that I was actually looking for, because she was a good writer. Or they, or he. And yeah, that was very interesting. I don't know if I want to do another or leave it at that, because I feel like, we could do another one where I actually try and find Donkey X Reader, but then there's like, this one was pretty, in detail. Yeah, I'm not sure, guys. I'm gonna think it over a little bit. So I'm just going to say that we're going to leave it here today. I might do another episode or video on my channel of Shrek X Donkey. I feel like there's more fanfic than what was on AO3. Maybe I'll try and find it on Wattpad. If you guys do want that, leave a comment down below, because I will do it. I thought it was a very interesting couple premise. And yeah, this universe was definitely not Shrek coded. I don't think it was really his personality at all, even. So I'm a little, disappointed, but we got what we got, and, that was crazy. It was definitely a drama one, like I thought it was gonna be, so we did get that. And as I said before, leave it a kudos if you did like it and you want to give them the appreciation for putting it out into this world. And I will leave everything in the description below for you guys to do that. If you did like hanging out with me, subscribe to my channel. I do mainly anime AO3 fanfic on here, but we also in like yaoi fanfic mainly. And we also do this series that you're watching right now, which is it cooking or cooked? Well, the question remains today, was it cooking or cooked? I like to give my little synopsis on what I previously thought of maybe this ship when I first ran across it. It, I don't think I like the ship that much, obviously. I think Fiona and Shrek were very cute in the movies. Like I said, I love the movies. I think everybody thinks that they're very cute in the movies. And you would have to be a pretty, like, I ship yaoi and everything type of person to want this ship to sail. I don't think that they like their friendship relationship balances out pretty well in like the movies and stuff, but other than that, I don't know if it's romantic. I never got the romantic vibe from it. That's probably because they didn't want you to. But even when I sit there and think, could this be a yaoi? Is it cooking or is it cooked? It's cooked. I don't like it. I don't like it. I like Fiona and Shrek, and I like Dragon and Donkey. So D&D. So yeah, I'm gonna say that this one was cooked. I did enjoy the writing, but unfortunately the ship I don't think is sailing for me. So, like I said, if you enjoy this series or reading anime fanfic, go and subscribe to my channel because you will definitely love being here in the cozy archives. I mainly right now have put out some Jujutsu Kaisen Megami X Yuji, Gato X Gojo, and we have some My Hero that has already been out too. I do a lot of Bakudeku in My Hero, but I'm willing to do other ships in other animes and the same shows. So let me know if you do in the comments below on those videos or whatnot, and I will see you guys next time.